network. And sometimes deep learning has the capability, it can create its own algorithm. Okay, I hope now the things are clear. Okay, now how many layers are there? Let me ask certain questions. How many layers are there? How many layers are there? 3 layers. Okay. Okay, in which layer processing is done? In which layer processing is done? Rudraj, is not 2, 3 layers. Input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. Okay, and what does the each node consist of? What does the each node consist of? There are so many nodes. ML algorithm, exactly, Rudra. Okay, so I hope now the structure of neural network is clear to everyone. Yes, and again, it has to be decided from data is not going to pass through all the nodes. So how it will decide it from which node the data will pass? Again, which value is to be considered? Which value is to be considered? Yes. Which value? Highest value. What is that highest value? What is the name? Threshold value. Exactly 11. Okay, so there is one threshold value. So, and how this threshold value is collected? Each node containing certain weights. Okay, don't go in so much depth today because it is only the first class, but each branch contains some weights. Okay, so input and the weights are multiplied, and the addition of all the branches, input and weights are multiplied, and then we take the addition, and then the threshold value is calculated. Okay, now there is one loss function which is calculated. What is this loss function? Loss function is what your model is predicting and what is the real value. So whatever is the difference between these two, what we call it? We call it as a loss. Are you able to understand loss? Okay. Are you able to understand loss? This is some basic terminology that you must know. Are you able to understand loss? Rimcha says yes. Okay, I am repeating Chandra's. My model is predicting some value. Yes. And there is some value which is in reality. Okay. Now the difference between predicted value and real value, we call it as a loss. Okay. And what I want to do, I want to get the minimum loss or maximum loss. Any idea? I want minimum loss or maximum? Minimum, exactly, Rudraj. Thanks, Burgess. Very good, Vesuru. Very good, Shiva. So I want this loss to be minimum. So these weights are upgraded again and again to make my loss minimum. Okay, and that we call it as a back propagation also. So this is all about the theory of artificial neural network. First time you are doing it, no worries. You read the whole notebook once again. You can see lot of text is given, lot of links are given. Okay, back propagation level. Okay, so again and again these weights are upgraded unless and until we reach to a stage where my loss is minimum. Yes, to increase the accuracy. Exactly. So exactly what I want to do, I want to increase the accuracy and I want to decrease the loss. Exactly, Rudraraj. Okay, so are we good to go for the code? Yes. Okay, great. Now let's start. A lot of examples are also given. Okay, and 2 videos are also given. I must say the videos are a little bit technical. More technical terms are used. But once you're able to understand everything what is written in the notebook, then you can go for these videos also. Okay. Now, I need these required libraries. First is Pandas. Second is NumPy. And there is one new library that I'm going to use today, and that library is under sklearn. I hope everyone installed the library sklearn yesterday. If not installed, you can install by just giving a command. As you install Pandas, pip install. Yes, Shaunak. Pip install, and then whatever is the name of the library. And where you will do all this, you go to the prompt, and there you will write. Okay, that you all people have done earlier. Fine. So these are the 3 libraries that we need. So you run this code. After that, I have already taken the path. Now I think path is not creating a problem anymore. to anyone, whether you are using Spider, you are using VS Code, you are using Jupyter Notebook, you are using IDLE, you are using Google Colab. No? Okay, great. So I have already uploaded 2 files here. You can see iris.data and iris_predict.data, right? And from here, I have copied the path. So right now, what I am doing? Right now, what I am doing? Can anyone tell me what I am doing? I am giving the names to my columns. Okay, so this we have done yesterday. Nothing to explain about it. Sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. Exactly. Just 1 minute. I think there's some network issue. I have to turn off my camera. Okay. This we have done. Now after that, where it has gone. Okay. I think by mistake I moved down. Yes, here. So we are giving all the names to all the columns. Then df.head, it is printing the first 5 lines. Any idea what does the info do? You have done. Any idea what is df.info do? You have used it earlier. What kind of information it will give you? Yes, Jonak. It gives the information about the CSV. What kind of information? You execute it and tell me. Everyone execute it and tell me what kind of information it gives about the CSV file. Like how many columns are there? How many rows are there? What is the data type? Okay. Now let's see if I do df.info, this is the output that it gives me. Can you see this output? So it is listing all the, yes, it is listing all the different columns. Then it is telling me like sepal length is there in how many rows? 150. Okay, there is no missing data that we are having. Then we have float. Okay. And it is also showing me there is no null value. That's what I'm saying. There is no missing data. Okay. And its data type also. Okay. Where it is kind of alphanumeric, then it write object over here. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. I have to turn off my AC. One. Okay. Now, any idea what does the describe do? Have you used the described earlier? Have you used the describe earlier? Anyone? No? Yes, you have used. So what does the describe shows? It gives me the statistical information about my data, right? So let me show you those who have not done. This is the output that we give from the describe. Okay. So what kind of like count, how many total rows are there? What is the mean of each of the columns? Can you see? 5.84, 3.05. Standard deviation. Anyone know what is standard deviation? Anyone? Any idea? Giving you 30 seconds, you can find out what is standard deviation. Giving you 30 seconds. If you don't know, go and Google it. Tell me what is standard deviation. Maybe you have not done in mathematics. You will do it in class 11th or 12th. Expanse of data. Okay. Anything else? Anyone? Yes. Spread out the numbers. It means what is the distance of each of the data point from the mean. So that is the standard deviation. So the numbers are spread out widely or not. It shows the spread out also, distribution also, right? So got standard deviation. Then we have percentile, minimum value, maximum value, then percentile. 25 percentile. You all know, na, there are so many competitive exams whose result used to come in percentile. So if anyone is getting in JEE 99.99, what does it mean? Is his or her score is 99.99? Is it? Is it something like this? No, na? What do you mean by 99.99 percentile? I got standard deviation. It means the person is ahead of 99.99 people, right? Okay. Similarly, 25% percentile means below it we have, it is higher than 25% of the whole data. Yes. Similarly, 50% percentile and 75% percentile. And you have seen this percentile when you were plotting your box plot. So there also it will show you quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3 if we have done the box plot. Okay. So it is giving the statistical information. I hope we don't have any problem up to here. We have just printing all the information about my data set. That's it. Now, there is something which is very, very important. That is, I want to standardize my data. Okay. For example, there are the marks of the student which lies from 0 to 100. Okay. And there are certain other values which is between 0 to 1000. Now, it becomes very difficult to do a comparison between them. For one particular value, it lies between 0 to 100. For another one, it lies between 0 to 1000. Their mean will be different. Their standard deviation will be different. And when we want to consider both the data points, it is difficult to do the comparison. Okay, let me show this with the help of one figure. Just give me 1 minute. Standard scalar graph. I just want to show you, I want to standardize my data. And why I want to standardize my data? Because I want to do a comparative study. So I have to do a scaling. I have to do a scaling, feature scaling I have to do, right? Now for the feature scaling, for example, this is my data earlier, which is having 3 different types of data, x1, x2, x3. Now when we do the standardization, it will come something like this. What is the difference between first figure and second figure? In the second figure, I tried to make its Bhavesh, enough discussion we have done about standard deviation, and this is the formula Bhavesh already shared. That is true. So you can see standard deviation actually shows the difference of each point from the mean, isn't it? So what I'm trying to do over here, anyone? What is the difference from first graph to second one? Second figure is more specific. Okay, Rudra, in what way? What is the mean of all the data values in the second figure? Isn't it same? Isn't it same? The mean is same in the second figure? Yes. And standard deviation is 1. Okay. And there are a number of methods that can be done for this feature scaling or standardization. The methods are standard scaler, min-max scaler, robust scaler, normalizer. But we will go for the first one. We are not going into so much detail today. And that is standard scaler. Okay. So let's go back to the not here. Yeah, here. Okay. So this is the way how I'm going to apply my standard scaler. Okay. So what I have done, first of all, I have created a data frame which contains these 4 values. For the X only we want to do. Now for classes, we don't want to do. Mean should be 0 and standard deviation should be 1. Exactly. The mean is 0. Right? Here. It's here. Yes. Okay. Now let's go back to the code. So here can you see? First of all, I've created an object of the class standard scaler and the name of the object is standardize. Okay, and I want to standardize only my features, X features. Okay, standard deviation, we will make it 1. Okay, by applying this. Then to make mean 0 and standard deviation 1, we will apply standardize. This is the object of this library dot fit underscore transform. And this I just want to apply on my X values. That is sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width. Right? And finally, I'm creating a data frame. Okay, I will give you the time to execute it. Don't worry. And see the difference. See the difference. Initially, this was my head when I printing first 5 rows. Okay. Now, and we have done the describe also, you remember? Here mean is 5, 3. Now just look over here. Okay, now can you see the values got changed? Okay, and if I give the describe, then you can see my mean is becoming same mean, and my standard deviation is 1. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, I'm making the standard deviation 1, right? So I'm just copying the code. So if you want more information about standardization, you can go here. Okay. Mean is same. Mean is same. Okay. Let me show you. Give me a minute. Common mean and the standard deviation. Okay. Now let me. Okay. Do you want the code of the earlier one also? Do you want? Standard deviation actually shows the distribution of the data, Ritvik, and that I want to make 1 so that I can do a good comparison. I can do a good analysis. Okay. Okay. Do you want this one also? Okay. I'm beginning from here. I'm just pasting the whole data, right? And you please do it. You can do it in a new notebook also. Okay. If you don't want, no problem. Maybe certain other people want. So I'm giving you the whole data, right? Please do side by side with me. The topic is little bit complex as compared to yesterday. Okay, right now, still we have not created any model. We are doing the basic things. Okay. Okay, Rudra, just wait for 2 more minutes. Let everybody do this much. Then I will take your doubt also. In the meantime, let me paste the whole code. Okay, now I pasted the whole code up to here. Now you can put your question in the chat. No problem. Just 1 minute. Please put your doubt in the chat section. I'm giving you 2 minutes. Please run the code. Once you are done, just show me the thumbs up. Just show me a thumbs up if you have done this much. Quickly show me once you are done. Okay, many are saying they have done. Okay, so I hope we are good to go. Let me check if there are certain questions in the chat. Give me a minute. Okay, Chandras, I can see your thumbs up. Ishan, what's the problem? Okay, now open the chat. Big DL, I will show you. We don't need this library. We will need another library. Okay. X values df dot describe to describe the standardized data. Okay, this is some answer. Shaunak, just wait for big DL. There is another thing that we will try. Ma'am, I got an idea, but don't really understand the purpose of standardizing data. See, if I want to compare the prices, okay, of two different objects. Now, one object is in a different range. Maybe it is in thousands, and another object, it is in different range. It is in hundreds. Okay. Now, I want to just check how much the comparison of both of them. So, first of all, we have to put them in same range. Now, for example, I want to make their graph. Is it possible to make their graph? If the ranges are so much different and I want to denote both of them, I just want to show the increase in price of different items. Okay. Now, some of the items are in lakhs or millions and some of the items are just in hundreds. How I will do this comparison? So, first of all, I have to standardize their values to a common range and then only I will be able to compare them. I hope it's clear now. Okay. You do one thing, Rudra. You just understand whatever I'm telling you right now, and you do some research also after the class, and then you can come up with your confusion tomorrow as well. Okay? If you are able to understand 40% today, it's more than enough. Are you able to understand, Rudra? Yes? Okay? Yes, mean I'm keeping 0 and standard deviation I want to keep it 1. Okay? Take file in same folder. If you are using the collab, paste the path. This all things we have discussed yesterday. Okay, if anyone want to know, I just want to share my screen once again. Give me a minute. Okay, from where to get the path in the Google Colab, you go over there where you have uploaded your file. Go to these 3 dots and select copy path. So this is should be a path when you will go to read underscore CSV. You check the value, it's near to 0 only. Check the value. Okay, just see this value, what does it means? E to the power minus 16. It's near to 0 only. Okay. Okay, so are we good to go next? Yes, so many new concepts today you learned. I understand that, but are we good to go? Yes, okay. Now we are going to build the neural network. Okay, so for this, I need these two libraries. Okay, just comment this big DL. I don't need this one. We need these two libraries. I'm just pasting it in the chat section. Okay, and I hope in the beginning only I told you to install the TensorFlow, pip install TensorFlow. So please do that. And if you are working in Colab, then we don't need to install it because it's already there. Okay, so I'm just pasting it here. So these are the two libraries that we actually need. Shaunak, it's installed. That's great. That's great. Okay, so big DL we don't need. We need from tensorflow.keras.layers import dense. Keras is a part of TensorFlow only. So if you have installed TensorFlow, you will be able to get all the libraries from Keras as well. But still, if it is showing some error, then install the Keras also. And the model that I'm using is sequential. Okay. Now, after that, what I want to do, let's move further. Okay. Okay. So first of all, what I'm doing, I'm initializing my model. So how am I initializing the model? Pip install TensorFlow. That's it, Kartikeya. If you want, if anyone of you want to just wait for you so that you can install the TensorFlow, we can wait for 2 minutes. Do anyone need some time? Yes. You need to install TensorFlow first, Shaunak, then only it will work. Okay, and you need to import these two files also. I've just pasted it in the chat section. I'm doing it once again. This one also we need. Do this. Okay. Okay, no problem. Understand the concept. Then we will see what kind of challenge you are facing. So are you getting the error when you are doing this import? In this line only you're getting the error, the first one or in the second one? Yes, anyone? It is fixed. Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay. Now let's move further. So you can even do it in Jupyter Notebook also. Exclamation mark. You can install any command line command. Okay. So here you can write pip install TensorFlow. Okay. Let's understand this later. First of all, let's understand the concept. Thank you, Siddharth. Pip install TensorFlow. This only we need, right? Okay. So first of all, what we have done yesterday, we need to initialize my model. So how I'm going to initialize my model? By using model.sequential. Now, as I told you, we have different layers. Okay. One is input layer, one is output layer. Then we can have more than one hidden layers. And each hidden layer contains some nodes. Okay. And how many hidden layers I need, how much nodes I want in each hidden layer, that is decided by developer itself. And that is they get understand with experience. Okay, it depends on the problem, your data set. How vast your data set is, how complex your problem is. Okay. So right now I am making a, right now I'm just, no problem, Hitesh. Please come. Right now only we have started with the model creation, right? So I'm using 3 different layers, and in each layer I'm using the 6 nodes. Okay. So add the first hidden layer with 6 nodes. Now how to add a layer? Model.add dense layer I want. Then with 6 nodes, input dimension is 4. Input is 4. And there are certain activation layers that I need to add over there. So activation layer that I'm using over here is ReLU. Okay. Right now we have binary classification or we have multiple classes. ReLU is the name of our activation layers. Okay. If you want more information about activation layer, you get lot of information. Okay. On YouTube and lot of places. And still if you face some issue, we can discuss. So there are so many different types of activation layer. ReLU is there, 10H is there, sigmoid is there. So many different layers are there. Okay. Generally in the multiple classification, we go for softmax. And in the initial layers, we go for ReLU. Okay. Many activation layers are there. Again, I told you, no, it comes with the experience. Right? Sagar, what you are writing, I'm not understand a bit. Fine. Okay. So first layer is added. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Shona. Okay. Then I'm adding another layer. Again, 6 node activation is ReLU. Now the last one I'm adding. Okay. So model.add dense 3, and here for the multiple classes we use softmax. Okay. Softmax is used when you are dealing with categorical output or the target. Right now my output is categorical. Yes or no? I'm doing a classification. Okay. Dense is the name of a layer. Okay. Now after that we have to create a model. Now in ANN we write something like this. Okay. All the terms are new to you. I will try to explain in very easy manner, but then also you can do the further research. Okay. Dense is the name of a layer. Okay. Model.compile, optimizer. There are so many different optimizers. And what is the role of optimizer? To make the loss minimum. That is the role of a optimizer. So model.compile. This is a new kind of code, Ritvik. You have to, there are so many new terms. Okay. And once you will install, you will run it, you will go able to understand. All the terms are new to you. So first of all, focus over here. So if you don't want to go into technicality of these terms, it's perfectly fine. Right now, you just use them as it is and you create your model. And then you compare the accuracy, how accurate your results are, right? So optimizer is something, there are different names of optimizer. Adam is there, okay? So different types of optimizer are there. NADM is also there. There are so many different optimizers. So optimizer role is to make my loss minimum. Loss all are able to understand? What is loss? Can anyone tell me what is loss? Can anyone tell me what is loss? The difference between, yes, I've explained you loss initially. And you also explained me that this loss should be minimum. And what is this loss? The difference between predicted value and the real value. Exactly, Ojas. Okay. So we have different kind of optimizers. Then we have a loss function. Here I'm using a loss function, categorical cross entropy. Okay, right now you use it as it is, and the metrics that I'm using is accuracy. So you have to use this whole code as it is. Okay. Let me copy this whole code. I think it must be there in your notebook also. Just run this. Okay. I pasted the whole thing over here. You have it. That's great. You have it. So are you able to run that? Are you able to run this? Yes, that's great. Okay. Now moving further, I want the summary of my model. Okay. So don't go into so much detail. It is just showing you how many total layers that you have used. We have used 3 dense layers. And what is the shape of the output? 6 nodes are there in each of the layers. And how many total parameters are there? Okay. So if your model.summary is working, it means your model is there. It is able to make your model. Okay. Yes, model.summary, right? Now, this is important. Here I am doing the training. So first of all, I need to import 2 categorical. Now, yesterday I explained you label encoding and one hot encoding. Do you remember? Do you remember? What is the difference between label encoding and one hot encoding? Anyone? In label or encoding, what code we have done? And in one hot encoding, what kind of encoding we have done? If you remember the result, write down the result in the chat section. Anyone? Label is reversible. No, I'm asking you, what is the code that we have given to each of the classes? Like, what is the code I have given in Setosa? In label encoding, I have given to code to each of the class. Yes. 1, 2, 3. That's what. Yes, Ritvik. So 1 I have given to Setosa. 2 I have given to Versicolor, and 3 I have given to Virginica. Now, when I have done the one hot encoding, so what I have given to Setosa, one hot encoding. Karuna, don't spam. 100, exactly. What is for Versicolor? What is the binary code for Versicolor in one hot encoding? 010. And what is the one hot encoding for Virginica? 001. Exactly. So in this particular case, first of all, we do the label encoding and then we do the one hot encoding. Both the things we are going to do. So one hot encoding we will do by using this particular class. So that's why I'm importing 2 underscore categorical. Okay. Now this is not anything new. What we are doing in this code, can anyone write down? But what I am doing in this code? df class value underscore counts. What it is show, it will show me in the output. No, this is not label encoding. This is not label encoding. Print df class dot value underscore count. What this statement? Yes, the number of values in each class. So it will show me Setosa is having 50 values, Versicolor 50, Virginica 50. So no issue here. This we have done yesterday. Then we are doing the label encoding. Okay, today we are doing 0, 1, 2. Yesterday we have done 1, 2, 3, but this time we are doing 0, 1, 2. That can be done. It's perfectly fine. Then I have done the label encoding here. Okay. Once I have done the label encoding, again I'm printing how many count is there from each class. So we will get this out. So we will get this output 0, 50, 0 is Setosa this time, 1 is versicolor and 2 is virginica. Okay, this is the output. 11, this is the output. Now let me show you one hot encoding. Okay, so I have created Y values for the class and here I have done the one hot encoding for the class. Okay, because I want to convert it into numbers. Then only artificial neural network works. I need to convert it into binary. Okay. So what I will do over here, Y underscore values equal to 2 underscore categorical Y values. And I have printed my Y values. Now, can you see 100? What does it mean? Setosa. Okay. 100, Setosa, Setosa, Setosa. Now let's see when it will change. 010, versicolor. Okay. So this much is clear. Have we done anything new here? Now only the process of one hot encoding has got changed. Otherwise, there is no change. Okay. This is just half of the code and giving you rest of the code also. This one. Yeah, I'm sharing the coach notebook only because it is a little bit complex. So I am giving you the coach note. I hope it's clear. The whole code is clear. This one, nothing new we have done. Okay. Yes, Rudra, what's your doubt? Please write down. In the previous code, can you just write down what is your doubt? Can you please write down what is your doubt? You want to know how this 30, 42 has come? Or total parameters? This is the sum of all these parameters. Okay. And all the parameters we are using for training. Later in this notebook, I will tell you how we can divide the dataset into training dataset and testing dataset. This code is not working model.summary. It means your model is not created. Okay, Shaunak, you can do it after the class also. No problem. I will share the whole notebook with you. Okay. So this much is clear. Now still, have we trained our model? Have we trained our model still? No. What we need to train our model? Which function we use to train our model? Anyone? Which function? Fit. Yes. So now I am training my model. Now here also it is little bit different as compared to last time, yesterday's. So we are using model.fit. X underscore values is my independent values. Y underscore values is my target feature. Target feature means dependent feature, that is class. Epochs equal to 20. Epochs means, as I told you, it will again and again update the weights so that my loss will be minimum. Okay. Ishan, I will give you the whole notebook. No worries. This is very important. Look over here. So epochs equal to 20. What does it mean? It means I want to run this whole, I want it to traverse the whole data set how many times? 20 times. So that my accuracy will increase and my loss will decrease. More training increase accuracy, but up to some limit only. I will explain you. It can be, we may have a overfitting also. Okay. So we have to get a limit ki how much we have to train it. Sometimes more training doesn't mean more accuracy. So it depends on problem to problem. Sometimes it goes into overfitting also, right? I will explain that in the next class. So can you see? And we can also, if my data set is very large, so I can also create the batch of my data set. Right now, I have just created one batch and there I'm taking the whole data set because only 150 rows are there. Okay. Shuffle equals to true means every time it is shuffling my data. It is shuffling the sequence of my data, right? Okay. Now see the output. First of all, the accuracy is 0.54. If you want it in percentage, multiply it with 100. So it is 54%. And loss is 1.013. Now when you go to from epoch 1 to epoch 2, It is 0.6. Loss is 0.81. So can you see? Now can you see? 150 out of 150 means the whole batch consists of the whole data, no? And whole data consists of how many rows? 150 rows. That's why it's showing it is traversing all the 150 rows. Okay. And at the end, can you see? My accuracy comes to be 95%, where my loss is only 0.12. Okay. And here, can you see? The accuracy is decreasing after this last epoch. Levin, which code you are not able to understand? Model.fit? Model.fit? Is it this one, Levin? Or before that? Levin, you have to tell me which code. Okay, before this. Before this, so it's very simple. I have just done the label encoding and one hot encoding. That's it. See, here I have done label encoding. Okay. And then here I have done one hot encoding. That's it. Because one hot encoding is essential for artificial neural network. I hope it's clear. Predicted output is what my model is predicting. Okay. And when we are testing our model, we already know the real value and I'm just comparing it. Okay. Okay. There is some real value also. For example, I'm making a face recognition app. Okay. I'm putting some picture in my model and I already know that this is a picture of Mr. X. Now I want to see why my model is also saying Mr. X. If it is saying Mr. X, it means my model is working perfectly. Okay. For example, my model is checking the fire in the forest. If it is predicting there is a fire and in reality also there is a fire, it means my model is working accurately. I hope you got to know. Yes. Okay. Okay. So finally, we are able to create a model with how much accuracy? With 95% accuracy. Okay. So this is my first neural network that I have created. Now, after that, more code is given. What is the difference in this code? What is the difference in this particular code? Previously, we have added how many dense layer? Previously, we have added how many dense layer? Anyone? How many dense layer we have added? No, not one. No. We have 3 hidden layers. Yes, Ojas. Now here I have created a new model, model 2. And here I'm creating 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 4 different. I have increased my hidden layer. And in the output, I got 3 data points instead of 6. Earlier it was 6. Right? So you can do this minute changes. The inner between is all ReLU and the last one should always be softmax. And then you see the model.summary and it will give you. Previously, I am working with how many epochs? Previously, I was working with 10 epochs. And this time I'm working with how many epochs? 20 epochs. So you also do all these things and try to find out the difference. Okay, here, can you see how many notes we have taken earlier? 6. And here, how many notes I have taken? 10. So you will also just run all this code, right? And try to find out what is the difference in the accuracy. As I told you, all this comes with experience. How many layers you need in each layer, how many nodes you need. So all this comes with the experience only. Okay. So I hope the things are clear to you now. I know it's little bit, what does the epochs do? See that? It will traverse the whole data set again and again. Are you getting it? So if it is 10 epochs, it means it is going through all the data set how many times? 10 times. Yes, if more nodes are there, it means more parameters. Exactly. Okay. So I'm just uploading this file in the same folder, in the same drive link, and I will share that drive link once again so that you all will be able to execute the whole notebook. Okay. Some part is left. I hope Anup sir is there. Are you there, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm just keeping, and whatever the last part of the notebook is left that we can discuss in the next class. Okay. And also we will discuss about the overfitting, underfitting and all such concepts. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Shilpa ma'am, for this wonderful session. So, students, good evening, everyone. So, see, students, what ma'am was explaining you before this, and she also explained you yesterday. See, as ma'am was saying time and again, and she is very right when she says, more you practice, okay, experience means more and more practice. Because see, nothing comes correct or nothing comes right at the very first time. You will falter, and that is what is called as one of the learning approaches or learning model in AI is also there, reinforcement learning. You hit and trial, okay. So first time there will be code in the error, but the thing is, do not copy paste the model, the notebook ma'am is going to provide, the code ma'am has provided to you. It is just take it as a reference point, not as something to just complete your work. Otherwise, this is for sure that you are not going to learn, because next time when you will again hit the error, you will not understand what mistake you have done. So to identify the error is also a learning, and that is how you learn to write the correct code. So as I mentioned before also, time and again, today you have so many, what you can say, platforms to check. Like you have something known as GitHub, you have a platform known as Stack Overflow. Okay, you also have something known as Code GPT, etc., from where you can get. Okay, you just copy the error and you paste it over there. It will help you understand, give a description where what the error is. So your job as a developer, your job as a code writer or a program writer will be to understand the error, where the error is and why this error is coming. This is how you learn, yes, and that is how the experience of more error means more experience you will gain to write good codes. So that is one part. I hope all of you are practicing how all these notebooks that are being provided in that Google Drive link. Ma'am has also uploaded it. I also in the morning uploaded the same module of like ANN and ML techniques that ma'am explained yesterday, and today she explained you ANN, artificial neural network one. All these but what I uploaded was I uploaded the youth notebook. Youth notebook means where you people have to work upon what ma'am has explained. Yes, so please practice and complete, because now what you are learning is stage 4 of AI project cycle, how you train a model. Okay, then when in the next class ma'am is going to talk about the validation or the overfitting or the underfitting, where you check your model. So what you are getting, what so far your journey, whatever you have understood is, you understood about how, from where you collect the data, how you collect the data, yes, how you explore the data. Explore means pre-processing of the data, whether you are doing your data visualizations exercises, whether you are looking into the erroneous data, outliers data, how you look into the missing values, etc., etc. Yes, what that is all part of your pre-processing the data. And once you are sure that your data is ready to be trained, then you go into the modeling stage, what you did learn yesterday on what are the different ML techniques, how you prepare your data for coding, and if you are working with more complex data, then how what are the this ANN, or you can say the neural network, how you create a neural network of yours. Okay, so these are only what you can say the basic knowledge or the basic it's not basic, but it is the foundation of creating any AI model. Okay, I hope all of you are getting it and learning it. I am pretty sure, because when I see the what you can say your WhatsApp group, it keeps buzzing up with the queries which are being getting solved by you people only. Great. So now let's move to a very important concept which will help you develop your project idea. Because last time when we met, I mentioned that you people will be working on your own project ideas. People have certain queries around what kind of project idea it should be, from where we can get this project idea, all those sorts of questions. So today's the session now what we are going to go through is known as your ideation session. Okay. Now, so please be very patient and listen very carefully. And then at the end of the session, I will be sharing a form known as ideation form. Now, tomorrow, I'm repeat, please listen carefully. Tomorrow, there won't be any class because on account of Good Friday. Okay, it's a holiday. So, you will have good 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to work on your notebooks, complete on your notebooks. Yes, and then also develop a very good, innovative, novel idea. Novel means unique idea, not copy pasted from somewhere, and submit that idea using that ideation form. Yes, and on Monday when we meet again, so now the next class will be on Monday. Yes, no class tomorrow, no class day after, no class on Sunday as usual. So when we meet on Monday, we will have the first hour will be on what you can say your overfitting and underfitting notebook and validation notebook, and then we will be taking your ideas, whatever you have submitted or in that ideation form. We will be discussing that how good your idea is, or if there are any suggestions, that suggestions will be provided for you people to work on your idea and make it a very unique idea, so that once our boot camp gets complete on Wednesday, that is 23rd, you people will get a I repeat, you people will get 7 days time, that is till 30th of April, to work on your model using all these techniques that you have learned over a period of 10 to 9, 8 to 10 days on using the notebooks. That will get completed result as a your AI model, which we will let you know how to submit and where you are going to submit. So to reach to that point, we have already covered 75 to 80% of our journey. Now we will be looking more into, okay, who is this Chakshwit Reddy? I think you are just some in some other world. Yes, just now I was speaking that the next class will be on Monday. Tomorrow, on account of Good Friday, there won't be any class. Weekends, there is no class. Yes. So that means you have 3 good holidays. Okay. So to complete your notebooks and also complete the ideation form and submit it. That is very important. Any child who is not submitting the idea will not be able to create the model. It's that sure. Now let's come to this what you can say the what, how can you think or how can you develop a very good idea. So guys, all of you are learning different techniques of artificial intelligence. Okay, and when you combine these all these techniques, okay, to create a model, that model you call as a solution. But what do we mean when we say AI enabled social impact solution? Now here the words which you people need to focus upon are social and impact. Yes, that means when you have what do you mean by social? So this social is word which is coming from the word society. Yes, the society, the place all of us reside, we live in. Now in a society, okay, no matter what kind of societies, communities we are living in, there are certain problems and issues that everyone faces, big or small, doesn't makes much of a difference, but there are certain issues, certain problems. Now, if we are able to use artificial intelligence to and leverage the power of artificial intelligence, yes, to address to these solutions, to address to these problems, okay, that is what we have to think in a very impactful way. Now, impact means what? Impact means some when you are bringing a positive change in someone's life. That is what is known as your impact. Okay. Now, impact could be both negative as well as positive. Yes, but here we are not talking about. Okay, here we are not talking about the negative part, but here are we talking about the value addition. What is that thing? How your AI solution is going to is be a value add to somebody's life. Okay, bring that positive change in someone's life, that it becomes okay better or good. that is what you say is that you have created a solution which is impactful. Okay, so your problem statement should be such, okay, which leads to creation of any impactful solution. Okay, and what makes a solution impactful? That is what you should, whenever you think of a problem, and what is a possible solution for that particular problem, you should always ask this question to yourself, okay, that what is that impact my solution is going to bring, or what is the impact my solution is bringing into the life of my stakeholder. Now to create, okay, now to create this, what you can say, how can you think of such kind of problem statement or such kind of ideas which are both good and impactful? Yes. Now this is where what we get go to is, yes, that is what is known as your process known as ideation. Okay. Now when we are talking about ideation, when we are talking about ideation, why I'm calling it is a process. I have blocked the chat for a while. Please concentrate over here. I'll open it again. I want everyone to focus over here, because at the end of the day, that means on by Monday, I need very innovative, very good solutions. The ideas from all of you. I don't want anyone coming out with a very simple, very basic kind of idea. It has to be like you must have heard out of box, innovative, those kind of ideas which can be converted into the AI model. So to understand that, to create this thing, you need to, what you can do, you need to learn what makes an idea impactful. So when all of you will be thinking of that idea, you people have to go through this process known as ideation. Now ideation is a process which actually helps you to generate and develop and communicate new ideas. Okay, now see, let me just give you an example. Okay, now see, how does just the communication, if your communication is so strong, even the simplest of the ideas, okay, can become so very impactful. Yes. Now there is a nowadays I don't see if uh, uh, this ad comes on television or not, because nowadays there are so many OTT platforms. So on that it never, I don't think this ad comes, but I think in newspaper something. But some years before, if we are talking of, let's say, 5 years or 10 years, if at that point in time, if any one of you were there and you watched television, there used to be a campaign which government used to run to for eradication of a polio. Okay, so there used to be always a polio vaccination day. Has anybody heard about this polio vaccination day? Yes. Anyone who has heard about the polio vaccination day or a campaign that used to come? Yes, Levin. Okay, so Levin is there who has. So there used to be, so that when that when that campaign used to be there, so in that entire campaign, there used to be two lines, only two lines, okay, which made the entire campaign so impactful that everyone, every parent who has that, who have the kids in that age group, they used to go to that nearest facility center to get this one. What you can say, get their child that 2 drops of polio. Yes. So usko, they used to write only two lines. But see, if you understand those two lines, see the how impact that messaging was. Okay, it was do boond zindagi ki. Yes. Now it is a polio vaccination drive where to convey the message, the communication lines were only two lines were created, and two lines were such impactful word. Yes. Translation of this is Ritvik, two do boond zindagi means 2 drops of life. Yes, do boon means drops, do means two, zindagi ki of life. That means if you get your child these 2 drops of polio, it would give them a new life, better life. Because if they get attacked or have a polio, Their their life, entire life will, yes, entire life will get crippled. But you see what the impact this simple line made in the, what you can say, in the mindset of the parents, that everybody went to the center to get those 2 drops to their children. So when I say communicating impact, that means your message, what your solution is giving or is trying to give, it has to be so impactful that it everybody feels or gets attached to their sentiments or to their emotions or to their feelings. So that is what the ideation, whenever you what you can say go into, you should always think about, okay, how it is bringing, how your solution, how your problem is going to bring that positive change. Now whenever you start doing the ideation, whenever you do the ideation process, guys, you need to understand that that's why it is called a process. Process means there is a stage. If you remember AI project cycle, you always had we call it as a process because there is a stage, step by step, that you follow. And in problem solving, yeah, yes, does anybody remember problem solving, first stage of AI project cycle? Anyone who remembers AI project cycle and the first stage? Yes, Ruzraj. And in that first stage of problem solving, what we used to do, how you people used to, what you can say, identify the problem. Yes, problem scoping. Arya, so what technique did you use to, if you have to identify the problem? Okay, problem statement template, 4Ws problem can Shubham, absolutely right. So you used a, what you can say, technique known as 4Ws problem canvas to identify, to go into the heart of the problem. Okay, now see, that is what this process is also doing. When you are talking of define, empathize, yes, now empathize means, if you relate this empathize with 4Ws canvas, can anybody tell me which W you can relate with the word empathize? Which W out of the 4 will be this, what you can say, will be relatable to the word empathize over here? Yes, Vishwesh, why? Okay, no, why cannot be. No, Eva, not why. Which W out of the 4Ws you can relate with the word empathize? Yes, absolutely, Mithir. Who, Eva, who? Yes. Yes, because see, if you remember, what are we doing? What we were doing, who? We were trying to identify our stakeholder. Yes, and in our stakeholders, we are not just trying to understand what the stakeholder is. We are trying to understand who is the stakeholder, what kind of problem they face, and when they face this problem, what kind of solutions they use to mitigate or cope with this problem. That means we are trying to draw some kind of empathy with our stakeholder. So that is where empathize becomes core to your problem statement. Because see, empathize means, see, we all human being, the race of humans is known as social animal. Yes, all of you must have learned in geography, biology, wherever. Now, why are we called social animals? Because the word social means, because if you, the other meaning of social could be, because we humans are very, what you can say, uh, emotion, people filled with emotion, feelings. We, okay, and anything what we do or anything that we realize, anything that reflects our personality is all about feelings and emotions. Okay, so empathizing means that when we are able to understand someone's emotions, someone's feelings, that means we are able to humanize with them. And something, when you are able to humanize with someone, yes, or with some problem, that is the time when you have understood that problem to its core, to its heart. Yes, okay, that is why when you have seen anywhere, whenever you go to a doctor, yes, okay, I gave the example before also, but today I am again reiterating on it, because now we are trying to understand what do we mean, what is the importance of who, or what is the importance of empathizing in creating a good impactful idea. Because see, when we go to a doctor and doctor diagnoses us, he asks so many questions to us. Yes, because he wants to get to the depth of the problem, what what made that problem actually surface. Okay, if you are having, let's say, a stomach ache, he will ask you a set of questions while just feeling your stomach. Yes, so that he can feel, he can understand that what actually had led to that. So that what he's trying to do, he's trying to empathize with you. He's trying to empathize, he's trying to feel your pain so that he can do a right kind of diagnosis and then give you a right kind of medication. So that's why students, ideation, the first very stage is a empathizing. Without empathizing, you will not be able to create any impact idea. Once you have empathized, the next is whatever information you have created, now you need to define it. Yes. Now, when you are talking about defining it, that means whatever information has been collected, you are putting it them in some order. Okay, so that you are okay, uh, so that you will be able to collate and compile the information to proceed to the next level. So you are defining your problem over here. Okay, once the problem is defined, that you know this is what the problem is, like what you do in the what part. Yes, what part of OWS canvas. Then what you do is that now you move to the next stage in ideation, that is ideate. Now ideate is again something which you ideate means you are creating an idea over here. What do you mean by creating, and what do I mean when I say creating an idea? Idea means when you have two set of things together. The first thing is a problem, and second thing, what is the possible solution that will be solving that particular problem. So it's a combo. Okay, combo of problem and your solution. That is what your idea is, and the process is known as your ideate or ideation. So whenever somebody says you that let's ideate or ideation. So ideate means you are thinking, you have already have a problem, now you are thinking about a possible solution to that particular thing. So that is your ideation process known. So this is what you can say in ideation. This is what the chronological sequence that we follow. All of you remember this. I am not going into detail SDGs because these are very important to address to a certain community issues, because all these 17 sustainable development goals are derived from our community, are derived from our civilization, what our civilization is facing the important problems. Yes, so basically all these 17 SDGs are nothing but your, you can say, they are providing your theme to reach out to a particular problem. Now this is your 4WS problem canvas which you use to create a to reach to the depth of the problem, to identify the problem in detail, which you know the in-depth study or the inside detail, so that you don't miss out or lose on even the basic or very minutest details of what is causing that particular problem, so that you can address everything. So who, just for the sake of a recap, who means where you are identifying the stakeholders, you are trying to understand your stakeholders in a better way. What is the problem, and you also get evidence that this is why this particular problem needs to be solved. Where is the context and situation, circumstance means what is the context, what is the circumstance, what are those conditions which are leading to the cause of that particular problem, by what is the value addition my solution is going to bring to the table for that particular stakeholder. Once you have done that, then these are some of the important features that every developer or every maker should keep in mind when you are, what you can say, creating your model. I'm not saying all these points should be there, but at least there has to be few points that should be considered when you are creating a model or a project idea, so that your idea is stand alone. Okay, that means it is like it shines amongst the rest. So as you can see, the first point which is talked about is a human approach. That is, it is addressing a certain story. Now see, all of you watch for your entertainment, you must be watching certain films. Not certain, but all the films. Yes, you must be watching some web series nowadays on OTT platforms. Yes, you and obviously some advertisements also come. But if you see this, if I ask you, if you just ponder and think sit for a while with a calm mind and think whatever films, advertisements, web series, or any other content that you have seen, what is that content that immediately comes to your mind? You must have seen in thousands and hundreds, but not you don't remember every of the thing. Only those are remembered which actually what you can say gets which hits your brain, okay, which hits your heart, okay, because why? Because you are able to see yourself in that particular condition. You can imagine yourself in that situation. That is what is known as addressing a human story. That is what is known as your human approach. Yes, that is what where we start feeling it. Because there are some content. You must have seen that people when they go to watch a film, okay, some people when some kind of scenes are coming, they start crying. Yes, and you must have seen at your home also. Sometimes it happens. Why? Because they start feeling that, they start realizing that, they start putting themselves into that situation, or they must have been previously into that condition or situation, and now they are, after seeing that particular scene, they start realizing, okay, that scene, and that is where either they start crying or something like that, means their emotion starts coming out. So that means it has, that scene has such a great impact. Yes, such a great impact on the minds and heart of the people that it made them realize that this is actually happening with them. That is what is called human approach. That is what is called, yes, that is what is called your emotional impact. That means when you are able to capture that emotion, and that is what makes the any project, the success of the project lies when your project is able to catch the emotions of others. Okay, because see, when it comes to technology, technology is something which you will learn. You will falter, you will learn somehow. Yes, but nobody will understand or nobody will learn your techno or remember what technology is used. Only people will remember is how that model was related to their life, how that model could change their life. Yes, simplistic. It has to be very simple in nature. No jargons, no technical jargons, no complexity in the working part of it. It has to be as simple as that. Yes. Now, in one of the another lecture, I was giving what you can say, and see these two things for the masses. Now, see, if you see, these two are correlated to each other. Yes, correlated. Yeah, all of you understand what correlation is. It is simplistic. If something which is simplistic, simple in work, yes, it will be more adaptable. Okay, it will have more adoption rate. Okay, from the masses. So other day, okay, I was somewhere and I was giving a lecture. I was explaining the point. Okay, so nowadays you are a generation which is into an era of smartphones and all that thing. Yes. Now I don't think how any one of you or if any one of you have seen those small mobile phones with keypads and all those things. Okay, but you can definitely ask your parents. So and does anybody know have ever heard this name Dhirubhai Ambani? Anyone? Yes. Okay, Rudraj has heard about Dhirubhai Ambani. So just for the context, he is the father of the famous businessman Anil Ambani, and who is the other one? Mukesh Ambani. Yes, the parent of this. So he was a father. Now he is no more. Now see, he was such a acute business. He has such an acute sense of business. Now when this mobiles, okay, were getting into the what is India, okay, so he said, see, any tech, because he was a businessman, so using his business sense, he said, see, this is a technology which is a technology of rich people, because at that time affording a mobile and mobile calls, it was something only rich can afford. But then he thought that if it will be afforded by the rich, that it will be just for a particular segment. Yes, and that segment one day or the other, what it will become close means like it will attain the saturation. So if he thought, if I have to earn more, if I have to make more money, I have to make this technology accessible to the masses, to the public, to the entire country. What can I do? Yes. So what he did, he launched a scheme. Okay, a mobile phone in rupees 500. That was at that point in time, Reliance means like they started a scheme that you buy a mobile set in a within 500 rupees, and you also get talk time, etc., etc. It was a small phone with keypad, etc. Now 500 rupees. Okay, even your rickshaw wala, your auto wala, your vegetable vendor, small chai wala dukan, everybody can like just they can save rupees 500, and everybody have like yes. Okay, so everybody started doing, and now what happened? That created a revolution of mobile in India. From there, now you see after a while, now what happened? Now that led to that made mobile part and parcel of everyone's life. Now after a while, as the technology evolved, smartphones came. Those uh, keypad were taken by the smartphones, but then everybody found that this mobile thing is very good for them, both for personal reason as well as for professional reasons. So, so the transformation from the 500 rupees phone to the smartphone was not difficult, because now they have understood the impact of the mobile technology in their life, whether it was safety, security, ease of business, connecting with people, etc., etc. So you see, that's what I'm telling you. That is what you have to think, that how your idea can create a revolution or an impact. So it has to be very simple. You should always think that you what a solution you are creating. It is not for you. It is not for one people. It is solving people's problem. So it has to be simplistic. It has to be cost effective. That means if it is a very high-fi solution, okay, so obviously the cost will be up, which will only be what you can say only few can afford. So it will definitely, it won't be a good success. It has to be scalable. Scalable means if you make certain changes, okay, you are, yes, see, Ritvik, many points are correlatable. One is a supplement to other, yes, but if you miss any one of them or one of them, then you don't reach to your goal. So scope of improvisation as the few. Now see, you today you create an AI model. So that AI model is addressing to problems that you are seeing today in your society. But tomorrow, as of all of us know, we evolve with time. So do the problems. So do the nature of problems. Yes. So your solution should be have those scope of improvisation, that with small improvisation, it is it can handle the future, whatever the need and requirement of the future is. A very good example to this is a electric bulb. Yes. Now see, electric bulb, when it was there in the from the time of James Watt or Edison or etc., etc., it used to be a filament bulb. All of you must have read in your physics, etc., early physics. But today you see the evolvement of bulb. Okay, and the function, you see, the function of the bulb is that it was in the very early centuries. It used to give us light to glow the dark places. Okay, to make the dark places more brighter. Same today also, the bulb is doing performing the same function, but as per the need and requirement of today's, that you need to conserve more energy. Okay, and you want to reduce your electricity bill, the filament bulb, okay, those neon bulbs have taken, or you can say the hydrogen bulb or the inert gas bulb, now they have become what, LED bulbs or some LCD bulbs or whatever it is. Yes. So now that is what is called your improvisation. As the needs are changing, so the product is also changing. All although the fundamental requirement, the purpose, it is same, but the what you can say, the its entire what you can say is the platform is changed as per the need and requirement. And the another important thing is it has to be sustainable. Okay, now I am sharing with all of you. Let me just change the some settings into it. I all via video. Okay, I think many of you must have seen it before or not. Just pay attention. Okay. Uh, Okay, and how they must have think of that idea. And once the solution is developed, or what the solution they are talking about, how, what kind of change, what kind of positive impact it has brought into the lives of those people. Yes, let's watch this program, this 2-minute video, and then we are going to talk about it. Okay, just let me know if you are able to hear and see it. I'm playing it now. It's a very, for me it is like a very simple idea, but the most impactful project it one can create. Yes, let's watch it. Okay.
India is home to more than 6 crore small businesses, and they've been fighting for survival after the coronavirus outbreak and the lockdowns.
Presenting not just a Cadbury ad. We advertised not just for ourselves, but for thousands of small businesses across. The idea was innovative, but the technology and execution was challenging. Most of the stores in India don't have a digital presence. So we had to manually feed our system to create a database of local retailers, mapping them to their location, which we identified through PIN codes. As the ad was served to an individual, an algorithm located the PIN code and then mapped the various local stores in that PIN code and served the one closest to the individual in real time. The AI-enabled system created thousands of permutations for the localized version of the same ad. So many that it is even impossible to track. This resulted in the first ever hyper-personalized ad ever. One that ensured every single person that saw the ad supported a local store. Because when all of us support our local stores, all of us can have a happy Diwali. Not just a Cadbury ad.
Okay, so I think all of you must have got the gist of the what the idea was and what the solution they thought and they created, and how that solution changed, or not changed, but impacted so many lives. Okay, because it helped them with their earning their livelihoods. That is to sustain their life. Help help them when it was needed most. Okay, so it was the issue, or you can say the race towards their survival. So this is when I say, students, think of idea. Though I'm not asking think of something very complex. No, something simple can also be very beautiful and impactful. Yes, it is my vision, how I am seeing that particular problem in a very simplistic way, and what a little idea can bring that the quantum of change, that is impact. Yes, so I hope you people must have got a good idea now. What do we mean by an impact solution? Now, how do you narrow it down? So this is a scaffold. This is a structure you can relate to. So see, everything starts with big. I don't know, this may be a new term for you. There is something known as funnel approach. All of you must have seen a funnel. Yes. Now, funnel, if you see from the top, it is a big mouth. There is a very big thing, big circle. But as you move down, it narrows down, or it caves in. Yes. And so that is what is known as funnel approach. Yes. Or it concentrates. Yeah. Okay, Ritvik. So when you see a problem, okay. So problem is a part of something big. So there is always a theme. So theme is, you can see that outer rim of the funnel, which is a over umbrella term kind of a thing. Then you look into the topic of that, and then in that topic you see a particular list. You list some certain problems, and then you choose one of the problems to solve. For example, okay, now for example, you are okay, you are class 9, 10, 11 students. So I give you example, I try to give you an example which is more relatable to you. Now, when you talk about science, yes, now science is an umbrella term, yes, or if you, let's say you are talking about a physics, physics will be an umbrella term. Now, in that physics, okay, in that physics, let's say you are talking about what, or let's say biology only, okay, biology. There you are talking about plants, okay. So see, plants will be, biology will be your theme, plants some topic. Now in that plants topic, there will be certain problems that you see, either the growth of the plant, the pesticides in the plant, okay, the crop of the plant, fruits in a plant, okay, whatever it is. So all these will become your problem, and out of these topics of the problem, you can choose any one. Yes. Now someone talked about AI, ML, and DL. Yes. Now AI is a large umbrella term. That is your theme. In that AI, you don't learn the entire artificial intelligence. Nobody can do that. So we select a certain field, one of the field. Let's say in AI, I am going to learn about machine learning. So my theme becomes machine learning. In machine learning also, I am going to only focus on, let's say, supervised learning models. Okay, so that becomes my topic. Now, after that, in the supervised learning model, which model I am going to work upon, whether classification, regression, and in classification also, which algorithm I am going to look for. So that means when you break everything from very big to small things, that is a kind of scaffold you need to think on. That actually helps you go in deeper into the problem. Like for example, I'll give you these, whatever you are seeing, whenever you look for a social known as a theme, because these are the larger, because these words or these theme encompasses many more small topics into it, but these are the umbrella terms which are there. So every problem, every topic that you will be working upon or thinking upon will fall into one or the other name. These are your themes. Now if you see, some examples are given over here. Theme: agriculture is a theme. Yes. Now in that theme, this is what your problem that you are, sorry, the topic that you want to work upon: yield rates, or let's say sowing and harvesting patterns. Now this is what your topics. Now in that in this topic, not audible. Hello. Okay, hold on. Wait. Am I audible now? Okay. There must be some internet issue. I think now it's okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, similarly, see, digital literacy can be your theme. Topics could be online learning platform, digital awareness, ebooks. In that also, then you look into subtopics, you can say, which can be seen as a problem. So this is how students, you, what you can say, just narrow it down. You start big and then you keep narrowing down until you reach, because you see, you should remember one thing, that when you talk of a particular theme, there will be n number of problems into it, and you cannot solve the world problems alone. So just take a small bit of from there, okay, and then you work on solving that. Keep it simple, which will help you to make it more impactful also. Now, I am sharing you again a complete project, okay, mapped with AI project cycle. Understand it, although it does not belong to statistical data domain, it is more of a computer vision domain, but it will help you give a good idea that how AI project cycle is used in creating a project. And that is what also you people have to work upon. You people have to focus. अभी आप लोगों को सबको किस पे फोकस करना है? problem statement always part for the first part problem statement. Next of the stages all of will be very simple for all of you. So let me give you a narrative and then I'm going to start. Okay. Okay. So this is a project on road safety. Okay. Now there is a petrochemical company in Thailand which has got its offices, like you can say the corporate office is in Bangkok, the capital of Thailand, and they have their petrochemical refinery at some other place. Okay. Now there is some distance between the place. Okay, like Mumbai, Pune, or Bangalore, Mangalore, or something like that. Okay. So people and that refinery works 24 by 7 into 365 days. That means the works never stops over there, and the employees work in shifts over there. Let's say 8-hour shift a daily. So there are 24 hours. So there are 3 shifts of 8 hours. Every time, okay, when a new shift starts, before that, the team of a new set of employees are commuted from Bangkok to that place of refinery. Now, so this is a almost a 24-hour job commuting, that some people are coming, some are going, some are people coming. Now, for that, the organization has its own commuting facility. They have their cars or buses or whatever to take their employees from one place to the another. Now, the heaviest toll or the brunt that is taken is on the drivers, because the drivers, although they are also more, but still they are doing frequent, okay, ferrying from one place to the another. Now as a result, you know that those of you, when you go on holidays and you go on a long drive on a highway, how difficult it is for the person who is driving the car or the vehicle at a long stretch, 8 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. It is very difficult, because after all, our body is human only. Yeah, our body cannot work continuously. Okay. So when you are traveling on a highway, you travel on a speed like 100 kilometers per hour or 80 kilometer, 90, or sometimes more also. A slight, what you can say, carelessness can be very, very fatal. Yes, absolutely, Arya. It's a physical and mental exhaustion. And humans concentration level is very shallow. That means you cannot concentrate for long period at a stretch. So what happens is that this has resulted in many accidents for that particular organization. And because of accidents on a highway, they have lost many lives. It's a huge loss to the company, both in terms of collateral damage as well as for the human life also. Now the company thought that, oh, this is a problem which we need to have a solution. Okay. So what they did, how they first identified the problem, and what solution they thought of to mitigate that particular problem, because the idea was how to save lives. Yes. Now to save their life, what they need to do, okay, that will be the solution. But then the impact over here is, if you see when you see the entire thing, you will realize why this project is you can call it an impactful project, because if this project gets implemented, which the company implemented also, it resulted in saving some precious life by reducing the accidents. So something which is saving the life, there is no more impactful than that. Yes. So let's start this. Let's see. And as I mentioned, please see it, how they have mapped every stage of AI project cycle. Now see, the first stage is a problem scoping over here. So how they scoped the problem. So let's watch this video. It is in Thai language, but there are English transcription which will help you understand what they are saying. Let's watch it. Okay, and then we'll proceed slowly.
ฉันอาศัยรถพนักงานในการเดินทางไปกลับบนเส้นทางกรุงเทพระยองทุกสัปดาห์ทั้งตัวเองและครอบครัวรู้สึกกลัวและกังวลกับการเดินทางบนเส้นทางนี้เพราะเนื่องจากว่ามีความเสี่ยงจากอุบัติเหตุทางรถยนต์สูงเป็นอันดับต้นๆของประเทศเมื่อ10 ปีก่อนฉันเคยประสบอุบัติเหตุขณะที่ขับรถบนเส้นทางกรุงเทพระยองก็เลยเข้าใจว่าเส้นทางนี้มีความเสี่ยงมากขนาดไหน
สำหรับเราสวัสดิภาพและความปลอดภัยของพนักงานเป็นเรื่องสำคัญมาก พฤติกรรมของผู้ขับขี่โดยเฉพาะอย่างยิ่งการหลับในและการขับรถเร็วเป็นสาเหตุหลักของอุบัติเหตุบนท้องถนนเราจึงหันกลับมาคิดว่าเราจะช่วยเสริมสร้างความปลอดภัยบนท้องถนนให้พนักงานแล้วก็ผู้ขับรถของเราได้อย่างไรเราได้ Microsoft แล้วก็ Frontiers มาช่วยพัฒนาระบบเพื่อส่งเสริมความปลอดภัยบนท้องถนนภายใต้โครงการ AI for Road Safety เราร่วมมือกับพนักงานขับรถของเราในการพัฒนาโซลูชันเพื่อติดตามแล้วก็วิเคราะห์พฤติกรรมที่ก่อให้เกิดความเสี่ยงบนท้องถนนนอกจากนี้ระบบแจ้งเตือนภายในรถจะส่งสัญญาณเตือนผู้ขับขี่ให้ปฏิบัติตัวอย่างเหมาะสมเพื่อความปลอดภัยระบบ AI เนี่ยจะสามารถเรียนรู้ที่จะแยกแยะพฤติกรรมเสี่ยงแล้วก็ประเมินความเหมาะสมในการขับขี่ของผู้ขับแต่ละคนโดยระบบจะฉลาดขึ้นเรื่อยๆช่วยคาดการณ์แล้วก็ป้องกันอุบัติเหตุได้แม่นยำขึ้นโซลูชันเนี่ยยังช่วยให้ผมสร้างแนวทางในการฝึกอบรมผู้ขับขี่ได้ตรงจุดมากขึ้นด้วย
ตอนนี้ AI เข้ามาเปลี่ยนแปลงเรื่องความปลอดภัยบนท้องถนนช่วยให้ฉันและเพื่อนร่วมงานหมดความกังวลลงไปมาก
So I think it was self-explanatory. So this is what this video is all about, the problem scoping part, where they realize what is the problem and where actually the crux to the problem lies. Once they have identified this problem, okay, who, what, where, and why, what they did, they compiled the entire information in this statement. Yes, that is who. So they realized that drivers, okay, if we are able to work on the alertness of the driver, okay, or the conditions of the driver, the rate of accidents will definitely reduce. So here their stakeholders became driver, and what they realized has a problem that of falling asleep or losing attention. This is the problem that they realized, because on highway these things results into accidents. When that is the context, where when they are driving on the highway. Why? So what kind of solution? If they are able to get a solution which can detect, not predict but detect, when they are beginning to fall asleep and keep them awake. So once they got all this information, they compiled in this particular problem statement template and came out with this goal. And this goal is your ideation. This goal is your ideate part, where this is the driving question of your project. How might we help drivers stay awake while on the road? So this question is everything. This question has problem and also the solution part. How word is here combining is a combination of both. What is the problem and what could be the solution to that problem? So once you people are able to have such questions, driving questions ready for it drives you throughout that. So this is, once the problem is scoped, now the next stage, as all of you know, is a data acquisition. Now data acquisition means you are identifying the data features. Now see, you are working with how might we help drivers stay awake while on the road. So while on the road, they are in a car only or in a bus only, vehicle. So that means now you have to acquire the data. What kind of data you need to acquire? First is eye movement. Yes, because see how the model is going to learn where the driver eyes are concentrating. Okay, if you are concentrated, your eyes look at a particular direction. But if you get distracted, if you are not concentrated, the eye moves left and right like this. And on a highway, when you are traveling, let's say at a speed of 120 or 100 km/h, even a slight movement of your eyes left or right can have a fatal, what you can say, results. So that's why they are trying to capture the eye movement. And how they can capture it? By putting a in video or a video in vehicle video, so that it captures the eyes. Okay, then blinks. Why they are capturing the blinks? Because as Arya also mentioned, that when you are traveling on a highway, the concentration is very shallow. If there is a lapse in the concentration, it results into fatal accidents. And how can you capture or how can you capture that whether the person is concentrated or he is getting tired? Okay, why? If you capture your blinks, eyelids, see, when you just think of yourself during examination, when you sit on a study table and you start learning, first few minutes, or let's say first 30 minutes, 45 minutes, you are very concentrated and your eyes are wide open. But as you keep studying for an hour or 1 hour or 2 hours, okay, and you start tiring, absolutely, Vishwesh, the sleepy, your eyes start automatically blinking fast. Yes, the eyelids keep close open. That is a sign that now your eyes are tired, your brain is tired. Yes, so blinks is on a facial expression. If the blinks are counted, if the blinks are more, it shows that the person is feeling very sleepy. Okay, phone use. Now today this is a kind of a disease, I would say, which is spreading far and wide. Whether you are on a two-wheeler or you are on a four-wheeler, people get phones and on a side. Okay, they don't apply brake and stop on a side to take a call, but in the moving vehicle they start talking. And when it does happen, this is a pure biological, what you can say, thing. When your brain is what you can say, uh, gets focused on one thing. So what you must be seeing, you see something, but you are not able to capture or realize what it is. Okay, you are seeing it, but you are not able to make sense of, because your brain is engaged somewhere else. So that is where, when people start, while driving, people start talking over phone. Okay, their entire concentration shifts on that conversation. You are driving and you are talking, so mind is somewhere else. Physically the present, you are present there, mind is somewhere else. Okay, so that means your CPU or your processing power is somewhere else, but you are just seeing it. So if somebody comes in front of you, okay, you are not in a position to take that action, that, what you can say. So that is why the phone use, whether the drivers are using phone while driving, they capture that also. Distraction. Distraction means when the co-pilot, person sitting next to you, you start chatting with them or they start chatting with you. So again, there is a lapse in the concentration, which results in what is. So they identified that these are the features, these are the data points for which they need to collect the data, because these are the points which are not only showing the behavior, sorry, behavioral patterns of the driver while he is driving, which results into some fatal accident. So if they are able to put a curb on this, put a check on this, they will be able to reduce accidents. Once, yeah, I know, sorry, time is up, just give me 5 minutes and then we will be okay. Then data exploration. Yes, Bhavya, who's the Bhavya Jain, just 5 more minutes. I know I have to give attendance link. 5 minutes, just wait for 5 more minutes. Okay, data exploration, where you explore the data. Okay, now you have collected the data. So see, you put snippets of video. Okay, you resize the videos, because data has to be uniform. You remember that what you can say, the missing values and all those values has to be same. Okay, uniformity in the data. Okay, so all those things you are doing it over here. Then once you have understood your data is categorically based. Why categorically? Because see, it has got categories, it has got these labels: eye movement, blinks, phone use, distraction. These are the categories of your data. So when your data is category, when your data is labeled, you use supervised learning model. So here they are also using supervised learning model. So what they are doing it, they are not investing in creating the model from scratch, but what they are doing, they are using some pre-trained model, and these pre-trained models you can get on Kaggle and somewhere else as per your need and requirement. So here they are using two types of model. One is a face detection model, other is a human pose estimate. Yes, why they are using two models? Because see, both of these models will help them trace the alertness of their driver. Face detection will help them understand their eyes and the tiredness on the face, sleepiness, drowsiness, whereas the pose detection will help them the alertness, how alert my driver is, whether the driver is feeling lethargic or not. See, it is a common thing. You people must have noticed it. When you are alert, you always sit upright. As you start feeling tired and lethargy, you start dragging or start laying on your or start couching on what you can say on your seat, and that is a sign that your body is getting tired. So they train both these model, and once and then they evaluated it. That is what your validation is. That is what. Now today somebody was asking in the when Shilpa ma'am was talking about what is accuracy, what is this parameter, okay, the accuracy thing. That is where you are validating the performance of the model. So they are using this confusion matrix, okay, to validate the model, to check the performance for its accuracy, precision, etc. And once they are satisfied, what they do, now they have deployed the model. It's like putting it some hardware over here like this and connected with the data, and this data is being fed to the what you can say the data center, and they are keeping a watch on them, okay. And if they find that the driver is getting into the drowsy or sleepy mode or getting distracted, there is some alert. What is confusion matrix? It is one of the what you can say matrices that is used in evaluation. We will be touching it on Monday, so don't get confused by the word. It is very simple. I will be talking on Monday over. So guys, this was something which I wanted to share with all of you. Okay, this is very important for your ideation process. Now I am sharing the link in the attendance link in the chat section. Also, I am sharing the ID a link to submit your project idea. Okay, so please you